My name is Henry Linwood, and I am 74 years old. I live in a quiet, cedar-lined house just outside Savannah, Georgia, where the moss hangs low over the roads and memories cling even lower. My wife Mara passed away 8 months ago, a woman whose laughter sounded like wind chimes after rain. Some nights I still hear that laughter echo through the halls, soft as a ghost. In the mornings, I sit on our back porch with a cup of tea and watch the marsh birds skim the water. Mara used to name every bird she saw, and I still catch myself whispering those names, as if she were listening. Life had become a routine of silence until one Thursday, a knock broke through the quiet. It was my niece Tessa, standing there with her arms crossed tightly over her chest. Behind her was her husband, Caleb, who looked at me the way a man looks at an old house he plans to buy, cold calculation hidden beneath polite smiles. After the usual greetings, Tessa stepped inside. "Uncle Henry," she said carefully, "curious. We need to talk about the cottage papers." I blinked. "What papers?" "The deed," Caleb added. "Flat, controlled. We sold the old river cottage yesterday. The buyer needs your signature on the transfer." My heart lurched. Long pause. That cottage had been Mara's sanctuary, her writing place. She kept journals there, locked in her desk, full of stories she never let me read. Shaken. "You did what?" I whispered. Tessa sighed in that patronizing way young people sigh when they think age equals confusion. "So, we need the money, Uncle. You don't even use the place anymore." Mara would have wanted it to help us build our future. The way she said Mara's name, sharp, flat, felt like a blade. I told them I needed time. They left, confident I would fold. But I couldn't shake the cold dread inside me. That night, unable to sleep, I wandered into Mara's old study. The air still smelled faintly of rosemary and the ink she loved. I opened the closet door and found a small cedar box I had never seen before. Inside was a single envelope. My hands trembled as I opened it. Mara's handwriting, gentle and slanted, filled the page. "If you are reading this, my love, then someone is trying to take what is not theirs." Below that was a series of numbers and letters. ML-4B27/ARK293/HL-11. A code, one of her puzzles. Mara loved encrypting things, turning secrets into games. I sat down at her desk and whispered the first line again. "Someone is trying to take what is not theirs." And I felt the air shift in the room. The next day, I visited the county archive, a quiet building with humming fluorescent lights. A clerk, an older man with wire-rimmed glasses, looked at the code and nodded slowly. "I've seen something like this," he murmured. Old writer's registry codes, permission logs he typed for 10 long minutes. When he finally printed the file, he slid it across the desk without a word. My breath caught. Mara had filed a private literary trust under those codes, a trust containing the rights to all her unpublished work. And the beneficiary wasn't me. It was a girl named Anna Reyes, age 21, a name I didn't recognize. At the bottom of the file was a handwritten note. "Protect her dreams if she cannot protect them herself." I found Anna working at a small bookstore near Forsyth Park. She looked up when I entered, her dark hair pulled into a messy bun and her eyes tired but bright. She was adjusting the display of poetry books, the kind Mara used to write. "Are you Anna Reyes?" I asked. She stiffened when she heard Mara's name. "Yes," she whispered. She was my writing mentor. She helped me when no one else would." I stared at her, stunned. Mara had never mentioned her. Anna hesitated, then handed me a notebook. Inside were pages of their letters, Mara encouraging her, guiding her, helping her escape a violent home. Anna had been living in shelters for years. Mara secretly funded her college tuition through small anonymous deposits. And now, Tessa had sold the cottage, the place where Mara kept every manuscript Anna was supposed to inherit. A fire ignited inside me. I drove straight to the cottage. Dust floated in the beams of sunset light as I stepped inside. Everything looked untouched, but then I noticed something odd. A draft coming through the wall near Mara's desk. I pushed the bookshelf aside and felt my breath catch. Behind it was a narrow door. Inside the hidden room were dozens of journals, manuscripts, and tapes. Mara's heart poured into ink. On top of the stack was a small cassette recorder labeled For Henry. My hands trembled as I pressed play. Her voice filled the room, soft, warm, cracked at the edges. Henry, my love, if you're hearing this, it means they're trying to take what they don't understand. Tessa became desperate. I saw her altering bank statements, and I knew she'd target my work next. So I hid everything. And I trust you to protect Anna. She's the writer I once was. Don't let them take her future. I sank to my knees as her voice faded. When Tessa and Caleb returned with legal papers, I was ready. I spread Mara's manuscripts across the table. I showed them the trust documents. I played the recording. Tessa's face drained of color. Caleb's jaw tightened. You can't prove you forged deposit slips, I said quietly. And you sold property you had no authority to sell. I had already contacted the police. Within 2 weeks, they were under investigation for fraud, coercion, and property theft. I didn't rejoice. I only felt tired. Deeply, deeply tired. Months later, the cottage was restored to my name. Anna and I spent afternoons sorting through Mara's manuscripts. We found her last novel, unfinished, breathtaking. We published it together, with Anna listed as Mara's literary heir. The book became a quiet sensation, readers saying they felt the soul of Mara in every line. The dedication read, For Henry, who kept my heart safe, and for Anna, who will carry it forward. One evening, Anna and I sat on the porch, the marsh glowing gold. She asked, Do you ever stop missing her? I smiled sadly. No, but missing her means she still lives somewhere inside me. A cool breeze rustled the reeds. I closed my eyes and felt Mara's presence, soft, steady, like the warmth of a hand I would never stop reaching for. And for the first time since she left, the silence didn't feel empty. It felt sacred.